All right, so just as a warning, this podcast isn't going to have the best audio, but it's okay. You can hear me. This is the first one I thought I would just do like an impromptu trial with the both video podcasting so I can put it on my YouTube channel and have me there on video. But the problem with that is that my Yeti mic broke actually on Friday, so like the day before I recorded. And the mic I was using, I thought all along was sounding great, and it wasn't. That aside, this podcast episode is about being an empty nester, fresh empty nester. And when I say fresh, that's freshly without any of our children in our home, and fresh as far as open, raw feeling and change, and everything's feeling very vulnerable, let's just say. Everything's at the surface. Everything's outside of me. All those feelings are sort of just pouring out. And I don't care if it sounds like crap. I just wanted to share this with you. So I hope you enjoy this episode.
Welcome to the Family Health Revolution podcast with Coach Carla Atherton, where she discovers, uncovers, explores, and reveals the secrets to true family health and wellness.
All right, so I've decided that I'm going to try to do some of my podcasts with video. And I didn't want to do video because I'm on a lot on Zoom, and you see how there's light shining on my glasses, and I don't want to fiddle with a bunch of video things and cutting and managing all that part of it. I don't want to wear a nice shirt because I only have 3 and they're all t-shirts. But, I figured it's kind of nice to see people sometimes. So I had a shower. I put on a little bit of lip balm, and here I am. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because it's just sometimes it's really nice to see people. Of course, yesterday my Yeti mic broke, so now I have to use this giant headset. And but the mic sounds pretty decent, so I think we're gonna do okay. This week has been very trying, and I don't mean necessarily in a bad way. Like, I don't even categorize how I feel as bad or good anymore, which has been really interesting. It's been such an interesting shift. But it's been very challenging, and it's been very uncomfortable. So I would say that probably the biggest things in life that you could think of, your security, your stability, your finances, your home, your children, your family. Actually, health has been pretty good. But all of those other things, your transportation, your future, all of those things this week have been uncertain in our family. So it's been really interesting. And at the beginning of the week, my daughters, 2 of my children are already on their own, but not for that long. And one of them kind of went in and out, and the other one just moved to the city a few months ago because she got a job, and we're 45 minutes away, so that's just not practical. But she's been out for a little bit, but we're still transitioning that. And then the youngest moved out on Monday, and the girls now live together, and our son lives not far away from them. And that was rough. I'm one of those moms that we're very close. I'm very close to my children. I make it it's a high priority that I check in with them all the time. I like to think that I'm less of a helicopter mom than a hummingbird mom. And a really actually kind of cool thing is that when I was just outside about 10 minutes ago, actually trying to do a reel for the first time on Instagram because I have to get out there. I have about 10 followers and I run a business. That's not good. And I'm trying to get out there a little more in that capacity. And there was a hummingbird that flew right beside me as I was talking about maybe leaving our home and all that stuff that comes with that we built this place from the ground up with our bare hands, and then this hummingbird comes along and I'm thinking, is that, it's beautiful, and it made me pause. But hummingbirds, I think, mean safe travels. Safe travels. And I don't want to go anywhere. So I'm going to look that up after I'm done recording this. But my point, though, today, and what I want to talk about, is this whole transition into the empty nest. Oh, and I'm talking about a hummingbird, and nests and birds. But, and actually, ironically enough, our youngest, the one that just moved out, the official last one to move out, I always call her a bird because she likes to be really high. So she always climbs out her window onto the roof. And so she doesn't like to be down in a basement. She likes lots of sun and light, and she likes that the sun wakes her up. And so I always called her a bird. So anyway, I digress. This is a podcast full of digression, I guess. But coming back to the whole concept of empty nest, I don't feel like I don't have anything now that my children aren't here. I actually know that I'm very full, and I've always had my own purpose and my own interests and my own sense of self, my time to myself. I've always taken care of myself, even though sometimes I've been really trying. And of course, your children come first. Actually, my children still come first. I advocate for self-care, but not self-sacrifice, and not necessarily where I'm just taking care of myself and nobody else. It's a simultaneous thing. But I wrote this poem one time to my daughter, and I said, I'll never be that old woman, sad and waiting for her children to come back. I'll be in the garden. I'll be, puttering around. I'll be doing my work. And when you come, it will be because you chose to, and we'll go have a nice cup of tea. And that's how I still see it. Yet, excuse me, choking on my own spit. Yet, at the same time, it was like ripping my heart out. It ripped my heart out. Like, it ripped my heart because they are my heart. And it's not because I have to be with them, and it's not because they define me, but they are me. They're pieces of me, and I want to be with them. Those are the people I choose to spend my time with. So I look over at the kitchen table where my daughter spent the last year writing her book, and she's not there. And I look up in her room, she's not there. And I go downstairs, and that one's not there either. So it's tough. And I go upstairs, and my son's, most of his stuff's there. And his bed's still not made because he didn't take it yet. But there's absence there. So I just want to say, what I want to say about that is that it's okay to miss them. And these feelings are not bad. They just are. And I am highly portable. I am hyper independent. And I got a car, if I got wheels, I'll just go and I'll go see them and they'll come see me. But I just wanted to share that for anybody else who is experiencing that or has experienced that. And I want to reiterate, or I want to just say that I cherished every bloody moment, even the bad ones that we would consider bad, the trying times. Even consciously cherished those times because I knew that this day was going to come fast. But at the same time, this day is a transition because we go through endings, beginnings, all throughout life. And an ending is never the end. It's actually the catalyst for something else, for a new beginning, for something else to create. So as my children have been what people say now, adulting, individuating, coming into their adult selves and in their own lives, I'm enjoying that transition too. I'm raising myself, as Naomi Aldart would say. I'm raising myself, not my children. And I'm enjoying how those relationships are evolving, even if it's not always comfortable, and even if we can mourn what we no longer have. I don't want more babies. I kind of want my own babies, but I also want them at 1 year old, and I want them at 2 years old, and I want them at 3. So, but I cherish every single memory that I have with them, and I am looking forward to every one of those memories that are coming. I was going to share a poem with you, but I forgot to pull it up on my screen, and so I don't remember it off by heart, and I'm not going to stop this recording to do that. Actually, maybe I will. I'm going to pull it up, so hang tight. All right, that's cool. It says recording in progress. I'm just going to keep going. I know this is a podcast, but I'm not exactly a conventional person. I just kind of do what I want and create what I want. So I'm going to actually share my screen for those of you who are watching the video version of this poem, because I sort of sometimes make visuals of the things I create. It's like this impulse I have to make something look beautiful along with the words. So I'll just read it to you to end this podcast. And it's just this mother's lament after the last child moved away. And I'm going to be okay tomorrow. It's called A Mother the Morning After Moving Day. I knew this day was coming, but plead with the universe anyway. Please slow it down. It's too soon. We're not done with that chapter. The countdown began. Last hug, last supper, last walk, last time shopping at the health food store, last box packed with your art, your gear, your books full of stories. My nest is empty, lifeless rooms. An unmade bed, the earrings meant to return to me, a few abandoned pictures, a small declaration to remind us that they were here, in this home we built only for them. I said I'd never be that sad woman wanting for her kids to come home, but that was the mother of all lies. There's a hole where my heart was, because they're not here. Go, I say, go, but please don't leave. All right. So I always want to leave with an uplifting message. And I think that message really just is, this is life. And it's still beautiful. And my daughter and I, we cried actually for weeks before she left. Like every once in a while, we'd just go like, tear up. And that was okay. That was okay. Every moment was beautiful. And it will be beautiful every moment to come. So I hope you enjoyed this episode and this session. And I will see you next time.
This podcast is sponsored by the Healthy Family Formula, which essentially means that we share our information for free. All we ask is that before you move on to the next 100 things on your to-do list for today, take what you learned and instead of waiting until Monday, January 1st, or any other arbitrary date in the future, act on it now. Buy that new food, start that new routine, shift into that healthier habit. The little steps steadily move you past the miles you leave behind you. For more information about anything related to family health, do pick up my book and check out our newsletter, blog, individual and group coaching programs, and practitioner training program at healthyfamilyformula.com. And you can also like our Facebook page, facebook.com/healthyfamilyformula. You can find us on Instagram at HFF_revolution and also on Clubhouse at Empowered Family. Please note that Family Health Revolution podcast is not a source for diagnosis or medical treatment, but is the opinion of the host. This podcast is intended to empower people with information so they can make the best health decisions for themselves. It is up to each person to listen to their inner wisdom, consider the information they deem to be accurate and applicable to their individual situation, and consult with their trusted healthcare providers if they so choose when making any decisions regarding their own health or the health of their loved ones. Each person's health is their own responsibility.